Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video. So today we are going to be talking about, as you can tell from the screen and from the title of this video, the Hero Arena. So I keep meaning to do a video where I show you guys my run, and I keep forgetting and just doing it on my iPad when I'm sitting in front of the TV. So next week I will make sure I show you guys a run, but today what I'm going to be doing is just talking you through like the teams that I recommend you guys using. Right, there's gonna be nothing crazy to these teams, but I will run you through kind of my units, what ones I use and why I use them. But first, I have left this deliberately for everyone, not this. But shout out to whoever got LR for the first time. Don't forget to claim your 100 free diamonds and your 200 potions, because someone managed to LR a unit, which is not surprising. But this guide will hopefully you to a point where you can, LR your own units, right, and do the Hero Arena. So I'll be doing a full run through, like I said, probably next week when it resets, and I'm not an idiot and I don't just do it automatically. But basically, the way it works is you want to pick 3 basically teams that can go through 5 other teams, and you pick the right CC that you need. So 3 teams, so one team will then go through 5 opponents at the CC that you selected. And then same on for the other 3 battles, right? So you need to do the 3 other battles. Now you do have season buffs that pop up, so human races, fairy race, etc. So this is, to be honest, I didn't really pay too much attention to this. I potentially should have and could have, but yeah, you don't. I didn't. It'll go through all the different rewards and stuff like that. I think, from memory, I did Master. So I did Master. So I did it at 300k CC. Basically, you just need to do it at whatever CC you can do, right? So I'm at about 7 mil box CC. So I got away with 300k just. And some of you might be higher or might be lower, right? But let's run through the teams that I recommend for this. So there's not going to be anything too crazy here. I'm just going to basically build out from, I don't know. I'll show you the teams anyway. But in short, I basically just built it around the different styles of teams you can have, as dumb as that sounds. So I had a goddess team, I had a demon team, and then I just had a high CC, either human team, or basically just built what I could to make it to 300k CC, if I'm honest with you guys. So for example, for the goddess team, what I actually ended up having to run was this team, but then I swapped out this Sariel for my green Sariel, because my green Sariel is a little bit more built somehow, I don't know how. And then I think I swapped out Tarmiel for my L. So this, let me actually show you guys the team that I ran. So, where's green Sariel? Why does this always happen? I always can't find the unit I want by like a lot. Okay, so this is actually the team I ended up running. After I sneeze again. Sorry guys, I don't know why I need to do this on stream now. This is actually the team I ended up running. I ended up swapping out, making sure everyone had the right gear, right? So I have Sariel on attack crit. I have Mael on attack crit, HP defense, and then HP defense. So this was the team that I ended up running, or something very similar to this. I can't remember exactly. And basically how we did it was, obviously Mael is your damage dealer. Sariel actually keeps everyone off everyone else, which was nice. So like Sariel's obviously the counter and the taunt. You use the cleanse with Margaret, and then you use Light Liz for her passive, which actually does some healing when you trigger it. So that was actually really helpful. The other thing you could use instead of Light Liz would be probably Red Liz as well, if you don't have Light Liz. Because her passive, which basically allows you to heal at the start of every turn. Because bear in mind, guys, you have to get through 5 battles, right, with these units. So units that have kind of passive heals or the ability to keep themselves alive or lifesteal are really, really key here, because then you want to go into each fight with as much health as possible, because then also you take the same health you do into the next fight, and then if you lose someone, you lose that CC from the unit. So let's say we lose Sariel, you lose that CC from the unit and then you drop, and then most of the time you won't be able to keep up with the same CC that you had with 3 units, right? So that's super key to make sure you're keeping an eye on that and you're utilizing that to the best of your ability in terms of, okay, how do I keep my team alive and what's like kind of involved in that, right? So, like I said, this was a team I built because my Red Liz isn't as built as she should be. So for 300k CC, I think I moved a couple of these around to make us over 300k. And that's the thing as well as links. Links are kind of important, right? Because links will dictate whether or not you quite make it to CC. I think there's a certain point where you're not allowed to have links, but you know, I'm not quite there in terms of the links. So make sure you're selecting the right ones to give you the maximum CC possible, so it creeps you into whatever band you want to do. So that's the first team, is the Goddess team. So you counter with Sariel, cleanse with Margaret, Mael's your damage dealer, and then Liz's passive kicks in to heal you up a little bit, right? So this is probably the most consistent team you can have. If you don't have Mael, I'd probably recommend you could do Tarmiel, right? If you leveled up Tarmiel, of course, Tarmiel's going to be a good choice. Those are honestly probably the ones I would recommend. Goddess Liz you could maybe get away with, but like the shield is helpful, but I would recommend this Liz instead, just because of the passive, a little bit of heal that she gets back, or Red Liz instead. Like I said, if you run Green Sariel, you can run Red Sariel for basic stats as well. That'll be good. But basically, any variation of this team will do the job. I would probably recommend keeping Margaret. That cleanse is key. I hope you guys all have her by now with the starter draw. If you don't and you still don't have Margaret, then I don't know. Like you could probably again swap it out for like Tarmiel or something. But Margaret is pretty key in the Goddess team. Pretty key, and these two work together very well. So that's the Goddess team. Next one is no joke, is no surprise, is going to be the Demon team, right? So for me, my Demon team actually consists of, where is it? There, so I actually run this Zeldris instead, just because the Zeldris gives me more CC, right? So this is Zeldris I run instead. I make sure, again, everyone has HP defense. This is the team that I clear the easiest with CC for the 300k. Just because Demon Team CC is pretty high with melee as well, and so I can get past this quite easily. So I do, let me talk about links. Links on Goddesses aren't really that important, basically just your highest CC links, right? But for Demons, they are kind of a little bit more crucial. I would highly recommend not this setup. I always put Tarmiel link on melee. Melee can like single clutch, right? Like he can literally 1v4 a lot of the time, especially if you have a high duped melee and you get lucky with RNG. So this is always the way that I end up running my demons. So where's a high CC? There we go, that'll dupe will do. So this is always the way I end up running my demons. So I have Tarmiel link on melee. I have Sariel link on Chandler, just so like melee does more damage with the debuffs. And then I have this Zeldris. If you have another Zeldris, the other Zeldris will probably work better because this Zeldris' passive only works in PvP, right? So if you have a better final unit, like you could even maybe run Chandler if you don't have this Chandler with a Holy Relic. This Chandler's so clutch with the Taunt again because it keeps everyone off your Esterosa, your Zeldris, and your melee. And look, if everyone does end up dying and you still have melee with Tarmiel link, what ends up happening is he heals back, he gets true magic, and then if you have like a level 3 AoE or ult, you can just wipe. So he's super clutch. I've had times where he's gone through 2 or 3, where I've gotten unlucky with RNG for the first couple of fights, and he's just come through and absolutely clutched it. So if you don't have that melee, it sucks, I'm sorry, but you could run like Trader melee instead. Basically build a demon team. There are a few kind of key factors to this, but the encroachment still works. So again, if you're not using this Chandler, you can run this Chandler and just do a couple of AoEs to put as much darkness on the enemy as possible, so it reduces the damage you take, and then also obviously increases the damage you do. So this is the other version of the team. And again, like melee is just obviously the star MVP here, and he will just solo it if he has to. And then finally is just basically after that, I go for a max CC team. So not this team. If I just go auto CC, this is the team that pops out. But what I do is I actually will go Escanor, and I'll do the same thing as Escanor that I do with melee, which is just add a holy relic. Add a holy relic, that'd be nice. Add Tarmiel link. I did originally have like Deanne with Tarmiel link, which you can do instead, right? So if I'm doing, where is she? There's Deanne. You can always put Deanne and Tarmiel link on her. Again, she'll keep heaps off your Escanor. I don't know why I'm struggling today. keep your peeps off Escanor, which is also decent. But I kind of like having Escanor with the Tarmiel Link. For the same reason I liked having Melee with the Tarmiel Link, Escanor can kind of just clutch out, right? Like you get lucky with his RNG and he's the final person there. You get ult, you can wipe, especially if you have a high dupe level. You can gold finger someone and they insta die. You can gold AoE if you're low on HP and you can clutch out fights. So I like having that on him. The other options you can have, as you guys know, because you actually got all 4 people start on the battlefield at the same time. So you could run like a green Gotha to rank up. You just have to be careful with, making sure you have different races. So the final one I'd probably do like I've done before, and I've done, where is he? I've done King, right? So obviously I changed all these links around, but I'd have like Dan maybe with Tarmiel Link, Escanor with like maybe Sariel Link, right? Let's do it now. So I'd go Tarmiel Link again to keep everything off everyone else, and then on this I'd probably go, you know what, I'd actually go maybe Mael Link here, right? And then on King I'd have Sariel Link, and then on Gotha I just have the high dupe of where's my Perk Melee, there he is, right? And this would be the team I'd run. So I'd use Gotha for the passive, King for the shield to protect my team, Deanne for the taunt. So these two will give you nice, good, big damage reductions. All right, and then Escanor is obviously my damage dealer. So you could run a team like this. Again, you could run Red Liz in the back if you can make it in terms of CC, right? That'll give you a good team. From there, you can even change it up. So a team that's a little bit like, let's say you get through the whole thing and these guys will serve you well, you're sorted. But also, if maybe some of these guys die and you're up to the final part, like how do you finish off? You pretty much just want to pull together whatever team you have left to finish the fight to make sure you clear the CC, honestly. But, you know, other teams you could run like debuff teams, right? Where you could run Zeldris, you could run the new Barn, you could run, Infinity Merlin, right? Wherever she is, there she is, right? And then you could even run, who would I have here instead? Again, if you haven't used Deanne, you could use Deanne. Use Red Gotha, right, for the attack disable, right? Or you could ring, again, Red Liz to keep everyone healed up and alive, right? So between these guys, the debuffs will be crazy and you'll get a lot of basic stats. Hey, you could swap out this Merlin for Summer Merlin, if you've got Summer Merlin, and just run a full attack disable team with Barn to just kind of finish them off, right? And then you get the stats from Zeldris. Say you're not using Zeldris, again, you can run like whatever like units you have that will just filter by combat class, and then whatever units will kind of fit the gap and fill in that hole that you've got. So again, I'd probably go a demon team, a goddess team, and then a high CC team. You could run a human team, right? If you've got, especially at the moment, because where is it? The unique season buff, right, is increase the basic stats of all humans by 3% for each human ally on the battlefield. So that'll be a 12% basic stats increase, which is pretty damn good, right? So you could run a full human team. You could run like what they suggested. If you've got this, you could run a Barn, you could run an Escanor. Don't use Kizune. Kizune does not work. Her passive and stuff and her uniques do not work, so don't use her. You could run, Twigo. You could then run my Wedding Brunhild's not invested in. You could run Wedding Brunhild, right? You could run Reinhardt. So basically, just make sure you build a team that synergizes really well, and ideally has a little bit of healing to it. So you could even run, a good old Purgatory Barn team. I did try and run a Purgatory Barn team, and I just got super unlucky with RNG for cards, and like Barn just never got any damn cards as standard. So you could, do this, and then you could have a Reinhardt. If you've got a Reinhardt as well, that'll make it really strong. You've got the Twigo taunt from his Holy Relic. So there's lots of different teams you can build. It depends on what teams you guys have invested in, but the ones that I've found, again, have worked the best is ones that basically just have a bit of self-sustain or a bit of, recoverability, or can like solo things by themselves if they need to, if you need to have one unit. So Melee can solo, and the Demon team is still super, super strong. Goddess team obviously is crazy strong and just has really high stats, so you'll be good with this. Liz will help you passive heal, cleanse the Margaret cleanses the debuffs, right? And then you can run attack disables. You could run your Escanor with your Kings, with your Deannes. You know, again, it depends on the units you've got invested into, but those are some really strong teams. The other one you could run, of course, is the unknown team, right? My unknown team's a little bit scuffed because I don't have Echidna, I don't have Rimuru, right? Like the strong parts of the unknown team. This would still work, and I did run this, but it's a little bit harder if you don't have the heavy hitters of Echidna and Rimuru, just because some of the teams you go up against are quite tanky, and will be quite annoying for you to finish off. So you can run unknown. I haven't really tried the Ragnarok team. You could definitely give it a go. Again, if you want to use the humans, you can swap out Freya for a human Ragnarok, like maybe Brunhild or something like that, and then get the basic stat boosts. But as you guys can see, my Ragnarok team's not super there. So it just depends on the teams that you guys have built out. But yeah, those are kind of my top picks and what I'd recommend, and what's helped me kind of clear. Like I said, I think it was Masters or the 300k CC one, which is not, it's not the top 2 or anything. It's the third one from the top, but it's 7 mil box CC. I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, so just wanted to give you guys an idea of like some of the teams you can be using for the new Hero Arena. Like I said, I will show you guys my run at some point. I probably should save it for a stream or a video, which I will hopefully do. But yeah, hope this helps. Let me know if you guys have a different team that you use down in the comments below. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.